Hari Om. Jai Shri Radhe Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter-1, Shlokas-38 and 39. Yadyapyete na pashyanti lobhopahatachetasaḥ kula-kṣaya-kṛtam doṣam mitradrohe cha pātakam katham na jñeyam asmābhiḥ pāpāt asmān nivartitum kulakṣayakṛtam doṣam prapaśyadbhiḥ janārdana. Arjuna says, though these, with their intelligence clouded by greed, see no evil in the destruction of the families in the society and no sin in their cruelty to friends, why should not we, who clearly see evil in the destruction of family units, learn to turn away from this sin, O Janārdana? If the question arises that although it is advisable for the Pandavas to engage in battle, being challenged by their enemies, the Kauravas, because it is well known that a Kshatriya can never decline a challenge to fight or to gamble. To answer this, Arjuna began a second argument, in which he started enumerating the flaws of the opposing army. The reason for the Kauravas to be engaged in war is out of greed. Arjuna says to Sri Krishna, greed has blinded the Kauravas and they do not realize that it is a great sin to kill their own relatives and friends. But why should we do the same thing when we can avoid this transgression? What Arjuna points out here is that since Pandavas are not having this desire of greed, they have no desire for battle. One is engaged in karmic activities to fulfill one's desires, but only if no negativity is created and the action results in total happiness can it be considered righteousness. Here we see Arjuna highlights in both the shlokas about his concern that fighting the war will result in the destruction of the family. Arjuna addresses Lord Shri Krishna as Janārdana. Here, he who always naturally protects his devotees. Arjuna, of course, was a proclaimed warrior, but he tries to avoid violence whenever possible because of his righteous nature. At the same time, he also reflects the human tendency to point out flaws in others by emphasizing how great his moral judgment was in comparison to the opposing armies. What we learn here is a seemingly logical argument may be completely illogical because of its source of origin, and it is always easy to point out flaws in others, but to know one's own flaws is difficult. Hari Om. Jai Shri Radhe Krishna.